I'm back with another app, and this app is for cart generation. So let's kind of see what that's all about. All right, so this app is called a cart generator. What this does is it essentially will generate carts for you. They're generic carts based on a couple of different parameters and everything like that. And we'll kind of go over all of that here in a second. But the first thing you need is templates. Here you can see I have a Game Boy Advance cart template. I have a transparent one and a green one. I have an NES cart and a green one as well. PS Vita cart with green as well. SNES with green and Switch with green. So the way that this works is your transparent template here, your normal template, will be overlaid on top of everything else. And then the green is where the label will be. Color code for this particular green, it'll be on the screen right now, so you'll know what to actually fill that in with. For certain, depending on the style of label that you want the cart to be generated as, you'll need some black and white patterns. You just want them to be black and white. For example, you're doing GBA carts, then you'll have a gradient. The black and white will be the reverse pattern for that gradient, and we'll kind of see how that looks here in a little bit. We also need game media. So for Game Boy Advance, I have a folder of logos. Here I have NES box covers, because that's what I want to use for the labels. Same thing here for PS Vita. The box front's fine for me. Super Nintendo, the same thing. I kind of just want something that looks like I'll be able to use this main picture here for these carts. And then Switch icons, I have just the game icons. I actually provide a package of this on Launchbox. This is the curated list here so that they all have their names already and everything like that. So all of that's good to go. So let's go ahead and see how this actually works. So I'm going to go ahead and run the game cart generator. So here is the cart generator. So I'm going to go ahead and choose a cartridge template first, transparent one. And you'll notice that it automatically sets some padding for me here. That's based on the settings.conf file. Once you actually have a locked-in setting for your padding and everything like that, and you generate carts, it saves it to the settings.conf file. Let's go ahead and get the alpha in here. And then we have the game media, and this is going to be the clear logos folder. And then I do want to enable gradients and patterns for this particular cart style. I'm going to point this to my patterns directory. And again, this is just a folder. It could be JPEG, could be PNG of just black and white patterns. And then we're going to set the output directory to Game Boy carts. Okay, so there's our output, GBA carts. There's our patterns directory. Here's our games logo. That's our game media. There's our alpha template, and then here's our regular template, right? We're going to go ahead and click preview, and we can see a preview generated here of what's actually to be expected whenever we actually run this. We can go ahead and click stretch image and see if that changes it at all, and you can see how it changes this, and maybe that's something that you want. Now, the gradient that you see there, that's always random. Okay, so if you don't like how a certain cart looks, you can run it through this app again and it'll generate a new one. But we can just see here some of the different looks and styles it'll do just randomly. If I were to generate carts here, it'll generate all those carts. So let me go ahead and click generate carts. All right, and the carts are done. So we can go here and take a closer look at them. Now, like I said, these are all randomly generated. Some of these are actually pretty good, right? But it's mainly just, this is not to replace legitimate carts, right? This is for games that you're having a hard time actually finding carts for. And again, if you don't like how any of these look, you can just run it again and it'll do another run through. Okay, so here we're gonna go and set up our template for just regular Nintendo. And we're going to set up our game media to the covers. So these are just regular boxes. We're going to disable gradients, and we're going to set our output folder to NES carts. We're going to preview. So we have our preview there. Now we can set, some of the padding here to see if we can get it looking any better. but I'm going to go ahead and reset this all to 0. And then we'll try that stretch image to see if that'll actually make it look how we want. We're going to click stretch, and then we can see here that it's filling it in nicely. So I think that's exactly what we want, and we're going to go ahead and generate carts. So here we are, and we have all of our carts done. These would be considered fan art, of course, because these are not the actual art that's being used for the labels. This is just a quick way to generate a bunch of carts very quickly for anything that you're missing, if you happen to have other media to facilitate the creation of them. Okay, so that's NES. Why don't we move on to SNES? So here we're going to do our Super Nintendo carts. We're going to set our template. We're going to set our alpha. We're going to get our game media. Here's our box art. And then we're going to not do a gradient. We're going to set the output, and we want to adjust it so that we get the right look, right? So we can try -3 first, okay, and then what the bottom, -21 for the right. We're gonna do a -44. Okay, that's looking pretty good. We got the top flush and everything like that. All that's looking good. We're just gonna click stretch here to make it fill out a little bit more, and that's looking fantastic for me. So I'm going to go ahead and click generate carts, and we'll see what we get. All right, and here's our generated carts, and they look pretty good. The fact that it can just generate so many of them at one time, that was like 722 really quickly. And you can change the color of the carts if you want. It's all based on the template that you're using, right? So let's move on to PS Vita. Here we are. We're going to change this template to our PS Vita template. And here's our alpha. And then we're going to change to our game media, which is just some PS Vita box art. We're not going to do gradients. And then we're also going to change this output. And then let's see what we have here. All right, that's not really looking how I'd like. So we're going to go ahead and adjust this some here. Yeah, okay, so that's exactly what we want there. So I'm going to go ahead and generate these carts, and then we'll see what we get. And there we go. Our carts are all done, and they look pretty good. Finding carts for Vita games and everything like that is pretty difficult. Obviously, these do not look like the actual carts, but they're good enough for fan art, and they're generated with whatever it is that you want to generate them with. We're going to do switch, and we'll end it off with that. Okay, so we're going to change our template here, and then our switch cart alpha, and then our game media, no gradients, and then we're going to set this output folder. Let's give it a preview. All right, it looks like some stuff is cut off here, so let's go ahead and remove that, and okay, let's reset the values here. Preview, all right, and then let's go ahead and just see if stretching it with nothing will be good, because the way that the stretch works is all of the green area, that's the boundaries that it will actually stretch to. So that should get us a very clean look. That's exactly what we want. And we'll go ahead and click generate carts. And all of them are done. And they look very clean. Yeah, that's really all you want, you know, is you just want some carts to fill in what you don't have official ones for and everything. That's all this is for. Fan art carts, something to generate something presentable to get a consistent look for your collection inside of Launchbox. So yeah, hopefully this was helpful for you, and I hope you get some use out of it. It's a niche use case for sure, but it's something that I really needed, and I didn't see anything out there that was useful, so I developed it. Hope you enjoy it, and if you like it, leave a review. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up and everything like that. You can leave a comment, and I hope it's helpful for you. See you in the next one.